Well, good morning, viewers. Today I'm going to run a bit of an experiment. With this really cold weather we've been having, I reckon my bike might be running a little bit lean, and only because the tune I can feel has changed with the weather, and it's a little bit hesitant to pick up off the throttle at the moment, and I do feel it's down a little bit, and I suspect that it's running a little bit lean. Now, I know the ECU will compensate for conditions, but I have made a change by fitting the Reinhardt slip-ons. This is my theory, at least. The ECU is already compensating for that, and I know that, well, I suspect that the ECU has a limited range as to what it can compensate for. So I'm wondering if we've sort of hit that point with this really cold, dense air, because as the air gets colder and denser, it's more, well, being denser, it changes your air-fuel ratio, and I'm wondering if it's getting now too much air to fuel. So I thought I'd do a little experiment today and just restrict some of the air going into the engine. If I am getting too much air to fuel, and I restrict some, and we're at the limit of what the ECU can compensate for, this should pick it up, I reckon. Well, that's my theory, at least. So in behind the airbox here, we've got slots around the back and slots around the front here, which pull air into the air filter. And what I'm thinking is I might block off, a slot or two on the front here on the leading edge, and just restrict some of the airflow and go for a ride. Because even the idling's been a little bit sort of stuttery too of late with these colder conditions. And that's also, well, I think, indicative of perhaps running a little bit lean. So if that idle is better and then I go for a ride and it runs better and it picks up off the throttle better, then I know then it is running a little bit lean. And if that's the case, then what I might do is make up like a 3D print a little trumpet device to go in here for a really cold winter that just restricts a bit of the airflow going into the engine, which then can, if it is running lean, then just bring the air-fuel ratio back into its correct mixture. I could be way off the mark here, and if I am, please chime in the comments if that's not the way ECUs work, if they can just compensate without limits, then yeah, please let me know. But I don't think they do. I think there's a limited range it can compensate for, and then once you're at that limit, then it's going to go either lean or rich. So I've just pulled the cover off the air cleaner, and these are the slots in here. So my finger sticking through. That's where it pulls the air in front and back of the air cleaner. So I reckon if I I'll try covering one up. I'll just put some tape over the back to cover one slot and see how that goes. Now, I'm not worried about anything being sucked into the throttle body here, because this is on the outside of the air cleaner, so if anything happens, the air cleaner will catch whatever gets sucked in. Don't know if you can see that there. I've just put the tape on the back and covered up a portion of those two front slots. Okay, that's all buttoned up. Let's go for a ride. This will be the first test to see if it's idling, the idling's changed at all. Better. Not so stuttery. wow. What a difference. Well, that's amazing. That's a huge amount of difference. That was it. It was running lean. Obviously the ECU had done as much as it could to compensate for the pipes, and with this extra cold, dense air, the air-fuel ratio was out, and it was just getting too much air. Because lately it's been really a little bit hesitant right off the bottom when I first opened the throttle, and riding around town, you know, you just sort of, you go to accelerate and just a little bit of hesitancy. Makes it a bit tricky when you're doing sort of tighter turns and things like that. Now I just felt it wasn't running, you know, as good as it normally does. And the other thing too, I've noticed just on that ride, the decel popping is greatly reduced, which is another sign that, you know, that some of the decel popping was because it was running a little bit lean. So that's cured it. It's running beautifully with that tape covering some of the air intake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the tape on for now, and just while it's really cold and I'm riding around in the cold, leave that on, and then as it warms up, then I'll pull the tape off, and you know, it should go back to running pretty good in the warmer conditions. But what I might do is I might make up, I think what I'll do is I'll design and 3D print a little slide that covers those openings just on the front, probably on the front two, I reckon. Yeah, on the front two openings of the air cleaner. And then I'll have a little lever that I can just adjust that. And if I feel it's running a little bit lean again, I can just close it up. And then if I feel it's running a bit rich, then I can just open it up and get more air into it. And I reckon that will do me until DynoJet can come out with a tuner for it. I don't want to send my ECU away to get remapped. I want a tuner where I can, you know, adjust it and tweak it and take it off and put it back to stock if I want at any time. All right, that was a 100% success. It was just beautiful to ride this morning, as compared to my last few rides, or the recent rides in these really cold conditions. Hope you found this video useful, and it's something to think about for your bike. So it appears the ECU has a limited range of adjustment it can do, and it just got to its limits and started running lean. Very interesting. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, bye for now.